Hello and welcome to my updated lesson on multiplication, this time with the PowerPoint. So before we begin, please remember to like and subscribe as it really does help. So let's begin with our lesson on multiplication on two-digit numbers by one-digit number with an exchange. Okay. So here's the warm-up question. Pause the video here to answer the questions and then we'll go through the answers when you're ready. So going through the answers. So as you can see, we've got 4 lots of 3. So 4 times 3 is 12. And here we've got 4 lots of 30. Okay, but as you can see, there's 3 tens in each group. And the answer is 120, or 12 tens. Question 2, as you can see, we've got 3 lots of 12. Okay, and all multiplication is repeated addition. So we just add all 3 12s together. So that's 3 times 12, or 12 times 3. And for those who know the answer, is 36. Here we've got 4 lots of 15, so we can either write 4 times 15 or 15 times 4. Remember, with multiplication, you can write the numbers either way, either side of the multiplication symbol, and you get the same answer. Okay, and again, 4 times 15 is 60. And then here we've got 2 lots of 26, so you can do 2 times 26 or 26 times 2, and the answer there is 52. Okay, and here we multiply each number below by 2, and all you've got to do is double each digit in the number. So 13 doubled is 26, 1 doubled is 2, and 3 doubled is 6. 23 doubled is 46, 33 doubled is 66, and 43 doubled is 86. And as you can see here, the tens are going up by 1. So the doubles of the tens are going up in twos, 2, 4, 6, 8. But as you've got a 3 in the ones digit each time, then the in the ones digit for the answers is always a 6, which is double 3. Okay, moving on to the main lesson. So here we have a situation. So each shelf here has got 24 rolls, and how many rolls are there in total? Okay. Well, as you can see, there are 4 shelves. So based on what we've just done, we'd have 24 times 4. But to work this out, what we're going to do is partition the 24 into tens and ones. So here you've got 20 for the tens and 4 for the ones. And now you're going to multiply the tens and the ones both by 4. So 4 times 20 is 80, and 4 times 4 is 16. Once you've done that, you then add the 2 answers together, which makes 96. So 4 times 24 is 96. Okay, so we're going to be doing this lesson where we're going to be breaking down the 2-digit number into tens and ones and multiplying each part by the single digits. So there are 96 rolls in total. So we've got 26 times 3. And here we have it shown on a place value chart using base 10. So we're going to do the tens first. So here we have the 26 shown at the top, your 2 tens and your 6 ones, and we've multiplied that 3 times. So we have exactly the same number in all 3 rows. Okay, so 2 times 3 tens, and we can just count these, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens. Okay, so that's the amount of tens we've got, but the value of them is 60. Okay, and you need to be able to distinguish the difference between, say, the number of tens and its value. Okay, here we've got 6 ones times 3. So we can just count them. So we know this one's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so 18 ones. Now to add them together, we need to turn the tens into its value. So as I said, 6 tens is the same as 60. Then we add that to the 18 ones, and we get 78. Okay. So therefore, 26 times 3 is 78. Have a look closely here. what multiplication is shown by the counters? So this is another place value chart in tens and ones. This time, the counters represent their values. Have a think, pause the video here, and when you're ready, we'll continue. Okay then, so if we look closely, we knew from the last place value chart that the top row was the two-digit number. So here we've got 3 tens, which equals 30, and 2 ones. So 30 plus 2 is 32. And then we need to know what we're multiplying by, and that's the number of rows. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So it's 32 times 5. And here we're going to try solving it now. So we're going to partition the 32 into tens and ones. So we've got 30 and 2, and we're going to multiply both parts by 5. So 30 times 5 is 150, and 2 times 5 is 10. And we then add the two together to make 160. So 32 times 5 is 160. Now we're going to have a go at questions 1 to 4 on the worksheet. So this is question 1. There are 23 marbles in a jar, and there are 5 jars. Okay, so there it is as a picture, and here it is as a place value chart. As you can see, the 2 tens in 20 are along the top, and the 3 ones, and we've multiplied it 5 times. Now I'm going to model the beginning for you to help you, and then you can answer the rest of the questions. So 5 times 3 ones. Okay, so we can just count them off the place value chart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there are 15 ones. Okay, then we're going to do 5 times 2 tens. So it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Notice for that one, I counted the values, okay? There are 10 tens in total, and 10 times 10 is 100. But for ease, I just counted in tens, okay? Now, remember, we add the two together, and you get your answer. We're going to leave that bit to you. Pause the video here to complete the question, and then we'll move on to question 2. Okay, moving on to question 2, which is up here. Okay, so as you can see here, the questions now just state the values, so we're just going to be counting in the values. Okay, so 4 times 5, so we got 5. This time I'm going to count in 5s to mix it up a bit. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, it's always good if you can count in a multiple, always practice it. It's always good practice for your times tables. So here now we're going to count the tens. So it's 10, 20, 30, 40. And then I'll leave you to do the rest of the question. Pause the video here to complete the question. Okay, moving on to question 3. So we've got parts A and B. So I'll model the beginning for part A, and then I'll leave you to do the rest of A and to complete B by yourself. So here we know that the first bit is ones and the second bit is tens. So I'll just write that up here just as a reminder. Tens. So the ones, we've got 4. So I'm going to practice counting in 4s now. So we go 4, 8, 12. Oh, so it's 3. Sorry, I've got 3 groups and I times that by 4 ones, which equals 12. And then I've got 3 groups of 2 tens. So 3 times 20. Okay, because there's the value of 20 in each row of 10. So 3 times 20, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And I'll leave you to answer the rest of the questions. Pause the video here to answer question parts A and B of question 3. Okay, moving on to our final question is question 4. So I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit for this one to get all 6 parts in. Well, there's more, there's 8 Okay. All right, so I'm going to model answering this part here. And what I'll do, because it's in two parts, so you can see it clearly on your screen, if I zoom in. Okay. I'll pause, I'll model this part. You can answer these four parts, okay? And then when you're ready, I'll scroll it down and you can pause the video there and you can answer the next four parts. So here, I'm going to model how to answer this question. So we know that 24 partitions into 20 and 4. So we're going to multiply the ones first, then the tens, and then we're going to add it together. So 4 times 4 equals 16, and 4 times 20 equals 80. So then we add them together. 80 plus 16 equals 96. So my answer is 96, which I write in the box here. So what I would do is use your workings out on one side and then record your answer separately on the right-hand side. Okay, it's always good practice. And also, if there ever is a box provided on an exam paper, always write your answer in the box or line provided. Okay, so pause the video here to answer these four parts. Okay, hope you're doing okay with those. I'll move the page down. Here's the next four parts, the final four parts to question 4. Pause the video here to complete the questions. Okay, right, moving back onto the PowerPoint. Okay, so these are going to get a little bit more tricky now. So we've got here a sum. We know it's 14. It's times something to equal 56. But we don't know what we're multiplying 14 by. So we're going to use the method here where we're going to write down all the multiples of 14 until we get to 56. So let's have a go. So that's 14 represented on the place value chart. Okay. So if we add it again, we'd get 28. So we're going to add 14. Oh, just 1 second. And then we're going to add 14 again. So we've got 3 10s, but we've also got more than 10 ones. So we're going to do an exchange. We're going to have our total as 42. So we're nearly there. We add another 14, and now we've got 56. So we stop adding. Now, we know the top row is 14. We've already got that number. We've got a total of 56, so we've got that number. So our answer is going to be the number of rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and if you write your multiples out like this, you can just count how many multiples you've got. This is a really useful technique as well for division. Okay, when you're dividing by a 2-digit number, it's really, really good. Okay, so our answer is 4. Final part now. So Mo is thinking of a number. He multiplies it by 4. He gets 172. What number was Mo thinking of? Okay, so pause the video here and have a think how we're going to solve this question. Okay then, so let's have a look, see if you were correct. So we're going to partition 172 off. Now normally, here this time, because we've got a 3-digit number, we're going to divide it into hundreds and tens and ones. But neither of those are multiples of 4. So what we're going to do is an exchange a 10 over, put it into the ones column. So now we've got 160 and 12, which are both multiples of 4. Now, when we've got a question where we've already got the total and we know what we were multiplying by, okay, this is actually a division question, okay, and it's to show you that the inverse to multiplication is division. Now, inverse just means opposite, okay, so it's to practice this. So we're basically working backwards. So what we're going to do is divide 160 by 4, which gives us 40. And we divide 12 by 4, which gives us 3. And just like before, we add the two together and we get 43. Okay, so it's just a practice your division skills on this one. And that's that. So now it's time to have a go at the rest of the worksheet. So moving on to question 5. Okay. So for question 5, I would recommend using the repeated addition method. We know what we're adding each time is 22. And we know we've got to stop at 88. Okay, so I'm going to leave that to you to use the repeated addition method of where we keep adding 22 each time and see how many times you need to add 22 until you get to 88. Pause the video here to answer questions A and B of part 5. Okay, moving on now. And the final part is here are some digit cards. You can use the digit cards to create a multiplication to work out the answer. Now you can use the digit cards more than once. Okay, so the example I used last time, he says 12 times 4 is 48. Okay, but have fun now and have a go and see if you can work out some different sums using these digit cards. Okay, and if you want to, you can extend to B as well. Okay, but when we're going through part B and the answers. So pause the video here to finish question 6, and then we will go through the answers. Okay then, so here's my ball. Blue Peter moment now. Here's someone made earlier, funny enough. Okay, so here's the answers. So here's question 1. So here when I did it before, I was counting in tens, but I did leave a reminder that 10 tens equals 100. So 15 plus 100 is 115. So there are 115 marbles in total. So that's question 1. Question 2, 4 times 15 is 60. Question 3a, 3 times 24 was 72. And here's all the workings out. B, 35 times 4 is 140. Question 4, I'll do the top 4. I know it says A, B, E, F, but obviously for the previous part, I split in top and bottom. And I wrote in different colours so you didn't get confused with the writing. So here it's 4 times 24 is 96 for A. For B, 3 times 17 is 51. E, 25 times 5 is 125. And for F, 35 times 6 is 210. Okay. For C, 3 times 25 is 75. For D, 34 times 4 is 136. For G, 5 times 26 is 130. And for H, 4 times 36 is 134. Okay, moving on to question 5. Okay, so here showing using the repeated addition method, we had 4 lots of 22, so 22 times 4 is 88. Now B was a tricky one. So you had to work out what you added. So you had to end in 1, okay, to get to 124. So a bit of a trial and error on that one. But I hope you got the answer as 31 times 4 equals 124. And then for 6a, there's my example I used earlier. 12 times 4 equals 48. Be interesting to see what sums you gave. If you could leave a comment below, that would be brilliant. So thank you very much. My apologies again that this is the updated video. Hopefully you should see the PowerPoint in this one. But every Friday I release a new video, a free lesson. If you would like one-to-one tuition with me, I'd cover from Key Stage 1 all the way up to GCSE in maths, and I am an SEN specialist with a level 2 in understanding autism and a level 2 in understanding children and young people's mental health. So if you would like one-to-one tuition, follow the Facebook link in the description below. And thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you on Friday.